Now you're hearing this right from the mouth of someone who's been involved in education for a long time and who really knows. I think that's absolutely right. I know when my daughter was attending Kentwood School, and sometimes after a long day at work, there would be parent-teacher conferences. And I tell you, something would kind of perk up inside me, and I'd go in there and I'd walk in and talk with the teachers, and we'd discuss my daughter's progress. But I would say something that, I don't know, maybe the first time I said it, people thought I was crazy. But I would say at the end, I want to thank you for assisting me in educating my child, because I really believe it's my primary responsibility. But again, sometimes we all need a little help. And so you begin to provide that help for several students just by going to the schools. Now, you would go to the schools, you would see about your own children, Bill.
Yes.
And you would, what happened? You started talking to some of the other kids, got the parents' permission, and began to meet with them? I mean, how did this come about?
Yes, always wanting to know all students. Could be an A student, could be an E student. I'd like to know them all, if possible. And over a period of time, yes, in contacting the parents through the school to get authorization to sit and talk with their student. And after that, things began to just continue to roll. And during that time, my daughter, who was I have two sons and a daughter, my daughter, my youngest son, began to question, well, Dad, why are you coming to the school? Dad, that's kind of embarrassing me. But they understood that Dad wasn't there to just check on them all the time, because Dad knew that they would give it their best. Not all A's, but give it their best, academically and be on good behavior. And I laughingly told my daughter, my youngest son, I says, look, just allow Dad to embarrass you one time. So the bottom line is, once they got accustomed to that, I continued to be in the buildings through high school, and for one of the children, also in college, because all three graduated from East Kentwood High School, and all three went on to a college and completed their education. But I was blessed that I was able to be there, and there were times that as a GM employee where I received 5 weeks vacation. 4 of those weeks would be used in the schools of Kentwood. I wanted to work night shift during those times when I needed to be out during the day, be in the buildings during the day. And that worked out well.
Let me stop you right there for a second, Bill. Listen, folks, this is a man who is committed to mentoring, committed to doing the right thing, and that's the award we gave, because we wanted to give an award to highlight people who were doing good things in the community so that more would kind of catch the fever. Even altering your own schedule, and many times people don't want to be inconvenienced. Even some, sadly enough, might see an inconvenience for seeing about their own kids, but you were changing your own schedule so you could be there for other kids as well. I mean, that's outstanding, Bill, and I just commend you. I've appreciated your friendship for a long time, but I thank you for that. Very quickly, when did you join the school board?
1995.
1995. So you've been on the school board for about 13 years, 12, 13 years.
Yes.
That's great. So obviously you started this way before you were involved in a formal basis, way before there was any acknowledgement or accolades, and that's outstanding. I love the story, Bill. That's great. That's great. Superintendent Palczewski. Now I know that you're probably feeling like me. When I was mayor of Kentwood, I found out about what Bill was doing, Mr. Joseph, and I don't believe in cloning, but if I did, I mean, maybe I wanted to clone his his values, his zeal for doing wonderful things for kids, because I felt like that's what we needed to help our community there. And now I'd like to clone that same kind of zeal around this state, because I think that's what we need in this state. Education is absolutely critical. And I know that you're mentoring, and your wife was involved in this, but in helping kids with their educational attainment, the tutoring as well as the mentoring. There's some other programs going on in Kentwood. And folks, I work in government. I'm a state senator. But I don't believe that government has the answers to everything. In fact, I believe that sometimes we look to government too much. The government has a role, but we're talking about grassroots. We're talking about people getting involved in their communities in a way that makes a real difference. The state is a poor parent for anyone, but real people who are really our parents at heart, reaching out to other kids, I think that's excellent. Scott, you have some other programs going on in your community where others are involved, and I think through some of the churches. Yeah, tell us about those.
Well, I think, Senator, the word that comes to mind is partnerships.
Partnerships, I love it.
And those partnerships exist through the faith community, through business and industry, through the mentor program that Mr. Joseph has been so active in. And the phrase that it takes a village to raise a child, and we know that it's become more and more difficult for parents because of their work schedules, because of the demands that's placed on them. And I think that through Bill Joseph's work and our relationship with the area faith community, we've been able to also establish mentors through area churches. Each elementary school in Kentwood has a church that has joined with them to provide mentors and tutors for our students.
Now let me interrupt you just for a second.
Sure.
That's pretty incredible. How many elementary schools do you have?
We have 11 elementary schools.
11 elementary schools, and each school has a church that's partnered with that school to provide mentors for kids that need help in that school.
Absolutely correct.
Oh, that's outstanding.
And we have one building that comes to mind, Town Line Elementary, that has over 50 mentors in that building through the partnership that they have with an area church.
Outstanding.
And that idea of partnerships, but I think that the piece that has really been most eye-opening to me has been the outreach from the faith community, joining with the schools to take our community and say, we recognize there's a need, that we're going to step out of the box, because it may not be members of our congregation, and we're going to make a difference. And we talk about the Do the Right Thing, the award, and some of those other pieces in the community, but those partnerships that have gone on through Kids Hope USA, and then we also have another program which is Streams of Hope, and a nonprofit organization that has partnered with Town Line Elementary to provide not only 50 mentors in that school, an awards program that is run every quarter for students who have earned all A's and B's. They provide a luncheon for the students and their parents to recognize not only their effort, but to tell parents how important it is that they're involved. They've had 2 this year, and I've spoken at both luncheons, to see the look not only on the students' faces, and as they receive a certificate and have their picture taken, but how proud those parents are of the accomplishments and achievements of their student. And the thing that Mr. Joseph has done with the mentor program is we've been able to reach out from not only that focus on the elementary, but to middle school mentors. And as we've talked about that within our district, there are never enough mentors for the number of students that are out there that have those needs. And I know that, Bill, that's something that you would probably just want to talk a little bit about, because I know that you have not only knocked on doors and made phone calls out there trying to recruit mentors because of the need, but also the training that you provide for them.